Meow, it seems North Korea's decided to crash the geopolitical party with a bang. In a move that's about as subtle as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs, they've sent approximately 10,000 troops to Russia's Kursk region, just a stone's throw from the Ukrainian border. That's right, 10,000 troops, enough to fill a small city, or, in North Korea's case, empty one. This marks North Korea's largest overseas troop deployment since the Vietnam War. I suppose Kim Jong-un decided it was time for a family reunion with his long-lost communist comrades. Finnish President Alexander Stubb has labelled this little excursion an escalation. Now, Alexander Stubb isn't just any old politician. He's a former Prime Minister with a PhD in international relations. When he calls this an escalation, it's like a sommelier calling your box wine a bit off. Let's talk about the Kursk region, shall we? It's not just Russia's backyard, it's practically Ukraine's front porch. It's so close, Ukrainian President Zelensky can probably smell the kimchi from Kiev. This is like finding out your quiet neighbour has invited a biker gang to house sit. Sure, they might just be there to water the plants, but suddenly you're thinking of installing a security system. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, ever the optimist, warned us about this. He said, and I quote, "We must be prepared for North Korea to support Russian operations." Well, Volodymyr, I hate to break it to you, but I think sending 10,000 troops is a tad more than just support. It's like saying a tsunami is just a bit of dampness. Meanwhile, China's playing the role of the confused parent, telling everyone to calm down while their problem child is setting the playground on fire. Xi Jinping's calls for peace are starting to sound like a broken record, one that no one's listening to. I can almost hear Xi Jinping meow. When I said peace, I didn't mean peace of Ukraine, Kim. If North Korean troops start playing war games in Ukraine, it's not just a diplomatic faux pas. It's like bringing a nuclear warhead to a knife fight. The international community might have to upgrade from strongly worded letters to slightly angrier strongly worded letters. This military collaboration between North Korea and Russia is about as subtle as a sledgehammer in a china shop. It's a marriage made in, well, certainly not heaven, more like a bunker somewhere in Pyongyang. For those who've been living under a rock, or perhaps in a North Korean prison camp, Ukraine's been locked in a David and Goliath struggle with Russia since 2022. Except in this version, David's got a whole lot of Western-supplied slingshots. The UN Security Council is expected to respond with their usual brand of swift and decisive action, which is to say, they'll likely spend the next 6 months debating whether to use strongly condemn or deeply concerned in their statement. For North Korea, this is like the geopolitical equivalent of finally being invited to sit at the cool kids table. Except the cool kids are international pariahs, and the table is on fire. One can only imagine the linguistic gymnastics happening on the ground. Niet meets Anio in a babble of battlefield confusion. It's like a military version of Lost in Translation, but with more tanks and less Bill Murray. Next thing you know, we'll be seeing Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin in matching tracksuit sets, sharing a bowl of borscht while planning world peacekeeping operations. This unholy alliance isn't just shaking up military strategists. Economists are also scratching their heads. It's like watching two people with maxed out credit cards decide to go on a shopping spree together. One can only wonder what sort of tech exchange is happening. Will we see North Korean nukes with a dash of Russian roulette? Or perhaps some classic Soviet-era equipment upgraded with that special Pyongyang pizzazz? World leaders are reacting with all the grace and composure of a cat in a bathtub. It's a diplomatic tap dance that's part ballet, part drunken stumble. Who knows where this merry dance will lead us? Perhaps next month we'll see Iranian troops in Belarus or Chinese peacekeepers in Siberia. At this rate, the next world war will look like a United Nations mixer gone horribly wrong. But enough about this geopolitical cage match. What do you think, my friends? Is this the start of a beautiful friendship, or just another chapter in the world's most dangerous soap opera? Let us know in the comments below, assuming they haven't been hacked by a North Korean cyber squad. Remember, in the grand chessboard of global politics, it seems North Korea has decided to flip the table and play Risk instead. Stay tuned, my friends. The game is afoot, and we're all unwilling participants in this cosmic joke of international relations. This is Ron de Parmesan, reminding you that in a world gone mad, sometimes all you can do is laugh, or invest in a good bunker. That's all for Meow. I'm Ron de Parmesan reporting for News Cats.